Hello, I'm Laura Sands, and I wanted to say a massive thank you to All Energy, to Judith and the team. It's wonderful to be here, even if it is only virtually, but it is a great lineup, and I just wanted to provide a little bit of context to where many of the speakers are going to take us, which is really moving from the brawn in the industry to the brain, and I think it's an exciting moment of new discovery. I wanted to just give us a little context of where we are. Policymakers are more or less sitting in the middle here, although I think they're shifting much more to the future than to the past. But we have gone from a very much a sort of very centralized system to much more of a decentralized system with lots more players, and I can't do anything without ensuring that we have Monty Python there. Just to give some context to this, we are going from probably about 400 key players in the sector. Most people know each other's golf handicap, to about 50 million actions and assets. If you think of EV cars, they will be able to do two things, both release energy and consume energy. And 50 million assets and actions all happening within the system itself. Then you add heat pumps, you add all sorts of other applications. It is not going to be able to be done in the analog world that we've been living in. So if you look at the quantity and intensity of actions, the diversity of these assets, i.e. with different characteristics, their interaction and that cumulative impact, and also having to work with new actors. Hopefully we're going to be able to really turbocharge the local energy plans, and that starts to create new interactions. This, as I say, is not able to be done in the analog fashion we've done today. And it creates huge opportunities, optimization, huge amount of value that's sitting across the system, which has never really been properly released, and digitalization will be able to do that. A dividend to customers, and also better investment decisions will be able to be made through opening up data and digitalization. Now, some of you know about the Energy Data Task Force, and there are people on this call, not least Dinka, who's really been driving this forward. And we've made some excellent progress. Since the publication, Ofgem have really driven forward on digitalization on networks. The concept of presumed open has been very much accepted and embedded in regulation. We're moving fast on the data catalogue that the ONS is driving, and the Energy Networks Association is driving forward on the digital system map. So it's an exciting time right across the sector. But the real prize is not really the data, because the data is the feedstock. It's really digitalization. And let's just look at this. This is a vision that we have for a modern digitalized infrastructure, where data visibility is really the data task force, and that is the data openness. But what does this offer us? It offers us open data tools and system platforms to look at that infrastructure and give us asset visibility and cumulative asset visibility. We're then going to need digitalization software, AI and algorithms to actually optimize the operations of these 50 million assets and actions. And we're going to need very dynamic digital markets. Talking about regulation on the right side, actually regulation is going to have to change fundamentally, because it's going to need to be very much data and digitally driven. It is not going to be able to process regulate as it does today. So digitalization is not an enabler, but it must be transformative. Sorry about this. So going back, we end up with a lot of digital essentials. We're going to need system stability, digital infrastructure, asset identity and connectivity, and interoperability. Interoperability being absolutely crucial. And hopefully this will deliver some transformative business models. But digitalization doesn't come without risks, and we've got massive risks and governance requirements on data security, that interoperability, algorithms. Anybody in the education world? Well, we've all known about algorithms recently, and their design and outcomes. There's going to be a much greater focus on consumer data and detriment. So we do need to move forward, and many people on this call are really taking this agenda forward. So it's an exciting time, as I said, but we are going to need standards and rules. And there's been some very good examples when it comes to how the mobile sector in particular has set standards that have created this interoperability. So watch this space. There's lots of plans out there, and I'm sure that many people, as the panel, will start to highlight what there is. We are moving from data to digitalization. We need to transform. This will reduce costs, but we need to deliver services that delight consumers. So I look forward to everyone else's contributions today, and not least the audience's questions for us all.